Welcome, fellow watch lovers. Today we're looking at the Escapement Time field watch, and just wanted to provide a quick look and overview of the piece as it's relatively new to the market. So if you take a look at the specifications, we have a bead blasted stainless steel case that's really bead blasted everywhere on the face, sides, except for the screw down case back. We have a mineral glass crystal, so be aware of that. It is slightly domed. Not sure how well that shows, but it is mineral crystal and it does have AR coating on it, kind of with a little bit of a blue tint. See, that does help make the watch face very clear. I'm sure we'll have some people that would prefer to have the sapphire crystal, but I'm sure this was a cost-cutting measure to get the piece under $50. We do have C3 Luminova on the hands, as well as the little tip of the second hand, and then on the dial itself, it's only the little hour markers that are loomed. The numbers on the dial are not loomed. Of course, that would have been a nice touch, but also inevitably probably raises the cost of the piece. It's a nice, small, compact field watch size. Compare it here to something else most people would probably have in their collection, and give you an idea of how small and thin it is. And it does wear very comfortably, even with a double pass NATO on it. Now it comes with this NATO strap. The NATO strap itself looks fine. I would say it's a little bit rougher material than I expected, as well as the cutout holes are actually rough, a little rough. It would have been nice to have bead blasting on the hardware here to match the case, but it is brushed. At least it's not polished, other than the side, which doesn't really make much sense on the buckle itself. But again, I'm sure that was just a cost-cutting measure. Other straps do look very good with it. Example, something like this does feel smoother and could easily be replaceable with it. So I think they did a decent job, color matching the style of the bracelet to it, or the strap, but it certainly is not a selling point or a feature of the watch. But thankfully, these things are easy to take off and swap out. On the back of the watch, we do have some basic information. Claimed 100 meters of water resistance. The VH31, the Seiko VH31 movement in it, and it even tells you the battery type that it uses. So those not familiar with the VH31 movement, it is a Mecha Quartz movement that runs on a battery, but it has more of a sweeping hand with about 4 ticks per second instead of 1 tick per second that you normally get with a quartz watch. Battery life is expected at about 2 years on a piece like this. And of course, time will tell. I like them. So far, it's a fairly new movement, but so far mine have been reliable, and they keep even better time, honestly, than a number of other quartz movements at a budget price point do. The bead blasted case is very well finished, but you probably do want to be aware that something like this, where on a brush case, it would be easy to use a little Scotch-Brite pad and touch it up. But I think once this starts to get some little cuts on it, then you're going to have a very difficult time actually getting any touch-up work that you do to match the rest of the case, because bead blasting finish is normally done in one consistent manner, and therefore more or less you're probably going to have to live with any scratches that you put on there, and probably won't look too bad once you have a number of them on there, but getting one or two is probably just going to look out of place. So I just want to provide a quick look at the piece, as I know this is going to be a fairly popular one, and just wanted to give some general observations here. Very good value at this price point. There are things you should consider on it if you're going to get a piece like this. It is a field watch look from that general tool watch perspective. It does a good job. It's very legible. The printing is crisp, but it also is a very casual looking watch. I would say that many would compare this to the Hamilton Field Khaki, which feels to me a little bit more easily able to be dressed up a little bit than this one is, but that's perhaps my personal opinion. It is certainly one of the most casual looking watches in my collection. Was one of the reasons why I got it, just to have something that's a bit different. I'm curious if some other manufacturers are going to come out with something similar to this, just as we saw Escapement Time released the Seiko King homage, and that sold well, and then others came to market even at a slightly lower price point. And I wonder if that's part of the reason why they came in under $50, is to sort of keep that pricing war in check. And it's really hard to beat this for that kind of money. Obviously, they had some cost-cutting measures with both the crystal as well as only providing a little bit of lume on the dial. What they did provide with the C3 is fairly well executed, and certainly provides a good budget-friendly watch. Hope you find this look helpful, and please like and subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content.